All going to zero. All going to zero.
You have a flag.
Juicy. Gang, gang.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Target locked. Ready to fire.
Yo, good morning and welcome to the Morning Market Report. It's Tuesday, February 24th, and tonight, we get the State of the Union address from Trump. We're going to do a little thing today, did a little deep dive and ran it through some AI. We're going to talk about what we could possibly hear tonight that could impact Bitcoin's price, guys. So we'll go through all that today. We're also going to talk about a lot of red in the market on the daily. We are starting to get a little resurgence of price action, making it green on the hourly. Going to see how this all plays out. Look at that. Take a look at the charts. Also, talk about Jamie Dimon, over there at JP Morgan Chase, saying he's got some anxiety. He's got some anxiety about the economy. We're going to break all this down, talk about what it means for the crypto space, and what it means for your investment journey. You guys know what time it is. Let's do it. Let's get that button. There we go. Classes in session right here at Piper Academy Network. Good morning to everybody. Appreciate everybody that's joining us right now. We got the alumni in here in the gang. So shout out
that's
to
my alumni. You know what I mean?
you guys in the Otter Gang.
Gang.
Gang in the house. So I appreciate everyone joining us over here. Let's go take a look at the chat real fast and we'll come back and take a look at Bitcoin. Shout out to the OC guy in the house. What's up, OC? 676767. If you know, you know. French Toaster's in here. JR, our in-house trader in the Piper Academy Discord. Eric Walland, Dave Brumbelow, the Brumblebees in here with us. You know what it is. Joining us also, Curtis Hill, Overtaker. We got Jer in the house with us. Who else? Am I missing anyone? Deborah. What's up, Deb? How you doing? Appreciate you being here. And Ninja Glock. Many more local for crypto also dropping in. Little Fish. Appreciate you guys all being here. All right, let's go take a look at the chart. Talk about what happened overnight with Bitcoin, and we'll get into the news. All the news is fit to be news. But first, charts. We did get a little pullback overnight here. We were holding at a level about 64,000 yesterday. We have now fallen lower and now trying to get a little bit of a rally. If we do come up, guys, watch for a level at about 64,500 to be a rejection zone. This is going to be where you've got a little bit of price action play here, previous support over here. I think this would be a good range to look at. It's also going to be in line with your daily close. That's that purple price box right there. That's your daily close from yesterday. How are we looking on the higher time frames versus the 200, sitting well below that 200-week moving average now, guys? We do have another 200-week, but wait, there's more. The 200-week SMA, the simple moving average. This orange one here is your exponential moving average, your EMA. We have the dash blue line here. That's your simple moving average, and it's coming in right here at about $58,000. I do think this is ultimately the target that we're going to go to. I don't think we get much off of this, but we do have to talk about the State of the Union address tonight because good old Trump, he might send it to zero, as he said in that thumbnail. Love the dynamic thumbnails, but looking here on the 4-hour chart, guys, we do have money flow starting to come back up. We are in a transition ribbon. True 7 has fired as a bottom, but volume is still looking quite low. I think this is just enough for us to come up and go even lower, resetting this, and we'll just get a wave, another wave here of downside movement on the oscillators at least. We'll look here in a bit at the higher time frame oscillator. Of course, we're watching closely for Friday's monthly close here on the MVP oscillator. We are still seeing a continuation of monthly strength here, though, on the MACD histogram still coming down, money flow still coming down on the higher time frame. So it's why I'm not feeling too overly bullish. I am still running my bot short right now that I just opened. We set together in the Discord yesterday, talked about how to set that up. And so if any of the alumni got into the short bot yesterday, you guys should be in profit now. So put a 1 in the chat if you are in the short bot with me, and if you are in profit, let me know in the chat. I'd love to see it. Let's go get into the news and talk about everything that we need to know over there. Going to bring this in, make the screen just a little bit smaller. Nope, don't do that. That's getting rid of the screen. There we go. Screen smaller. Perfect. And then to the news side. Okay, looking at the metrics here of Into the Cryptoverse, guys, we need to talk about something on here because we are in a new range for the dollar cost average. That the DCA Piper plan, which is a dynamic Piper plan. I know you guys are like, what's so big about a DCA plan? You're taking them out and you put it in each week. No, we do weighted entries for our DCA based on the risk levels, the risk bands. And currently right now we're at 0.288, putting us at a 5x DCA for our Bitcoin DCA plan. Looking at the total crypto market cap, we are at 2.119 trillion right now. Trend on this, the fair value of Bitcoin is sitting at about 4.909 trillion. We are currently undervalued on Bitcoin by 55.2% at this point. So looking here at the current wristbands, again, 0.288. We are setting some lower bands here. And I want to talk about this in a bit because how long do we spend in this band? How often do we go below this band? We're going to take a look at some of that data here in a bit. Bitcoin dominance right now sitting at 57.82%. Without stables, take them stable coins out, we're sitting at 66.75%. Bitcoin dominance holding strong right now. Let's go look at that. How long? Time in wristbands. That's what I want to look at here. Time in wristbands. There we go. Taking a look at this chart here, guys. We'll put this in percentage. And right now we're in this 0.2 to 0.3 wristband. We spend throughout Bitcoin's history, it has spent 14.87%. So about 14.8%, 14.9% of its entire lifespan in this risk band. There are a couple of lower, but you can see here the biggest one, the one that's going to be a 7 times your DCA. This one has only spent about 2% of its life there. And I don't think that much of that has been in the, that has not been much of the recent years. So let's look here and see cycle 5. Cycle 5 would be 2022 through 2026. Okay. Look here, this band that we're in, it only spends about 5% of its time here. If we add in 4 and take a look at this one, this is going to be 2018 to 2022. We only spent about 12% of our time in that risk band. So, if you look in the recent years, not a lot of time there. Our biggest time is in this 4 to 5 wristband, which is really just a DCA times 2. So, at the end of the day, I would say that we're not gonna spend very long here. And if we even look at the previous cycle and go, okay, what about the lower levels? 9% there. So we should not spend too much time in this band. If we do, it's going to be marking the bottom of the market pretty confidently. So we'll take a look over here and I'll show you what this is talking about. It's talking about these wristbands here. You can see the color coding at the bottom, the 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, so on and so forth. And if you look at like last cycle, we only went down into like the 0.1 wristband for this little window of time here. And that was the bottom of the market. So we did hit it here in COVID crash, of course, but looking here in from 2021 going into 2022, we hit this. We had a pretty decently long period here of the 0.2s to the 0.1s, but we're already hitting that. So I think that what we're seeing is the buildup of a potential relief rally. You can see that we had a relief rally here. Matter of fact, I can take this in and put on Bitcoin price, and we'll just isolate this over to bring that in a little bit more. There you go. You can look here and see we had the Bitcoin price come in and give a nice little relief rally where it went into some lower levels there, especially like right here. We went all the way back up into the threes. So I don't know that we're going to spend too much time in our blue band here. If we do, then it is giving us the idea that we're going to have a really good period of time to buy way more Bitcoin at lower levels for a longer extended period of time. And if we have a good accumulation period like we did here, you can see here this accumulation window. This was several months, and it gave us a really good range of just sideways, meaning as you kept buying there each week, your average price is coming down to it. You're getting a lower price for when that pop off happens. So that's why the dynamic DCA plan works so well. But I just wanted to break down for you guys how long we typically spend in these wristbands, and it's not too awfully long. It's a very small window of Bitcoin cycles. So good to see it in there. How about liquidations in the past 24 hours? According to CoinGlass data, the past 24 hours, 138,709 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations came in at $419.4 million, almost a half a billion there. Largest single liquidation order was on BitGet. It was an ETH trade valued at $26 million, man. What are these people trading out there? If you guys want to just throw money away, come over to Piper Academy. I have a lot of members over here that would be glad to just take a donation from you. I'm late. Welcome to the past, beginning of the stream. Darren does things. What's up, bro? DDT in the house. We also got Wix Wi-Fi 89 rolling in here. And we also got OC joining emoji support so that he can get access to emojis because he wants to play with the emojis too. OC, you can drop your own emoji. How you like that? Let's go take a look at the longs versus shorts right now, guys. Let me refresh this because it was showing shorts stronger, and yeah, it looks that way still. $36.7 billion of the volume is in shorts, and 36.25 billion of it is in long. So running 49.68 to 50.32 in the past 24 hours. Pretty much even. It's about 50-50 damn near. How about in the past hour, though? Yeah, the past hour, we are seeing a little bit of bullishness of trade volume on longs. So I think it's we're setting up for a trap right now to trap these new longs that are starting to come in and outperform these shorts on the 24-hour. Take a look at X marks the spot this week. Markets react to the Trump's 15% global tariff. That was yesterday. We're on Tuesday. February consumer confidence data comes in today. We're going to look at that in a second. And then tomorrow, we're going to get NVIDIA earnings reports, guys. It's going to be a big one to watch because I think this is going to have a big impact on the tech sector, the Mag 7, crypto, and the overall stability of the stock market. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to get initial jobless claims, and Friday, PP in your eye data. Shout out to Alex O for that one. There you go.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. Looking at the fear and greed index sitting at 8 right now in extreme fear, continuing this long trend of extreme fear in crypto. It's crazy. And Coinbase has announced you will be allowed to trade stocks around the clock, 24/5 trading, meaning 24 hours a day, 5 days a week at zero commission. Of course, when I see zero commission, you know what I think? High slippage. Just know that. One unified portfolio for stocks and crypto by fractional shares for as little as $1. Now available to all eligible U.S. traders on Coinbase. I may check this out because I've been running a lot of my money split with crypto and stocks on another one. It would be nice to be able to be consolidating, but I'll have to look and see what their fees are, what their slippage is, because it may not be a fee. They may not charge you a fee to do the trade, but say it's like $100 for this stock that you're buying a share of, and you buy it and you end up paying 104. Well, that's not really there is a fee. It's just built into slippage. So Bitcoin breaking news. Bitcoin extended its loss overnight below $63,000, 50% from its all-time. Piper, that's old news. We already been there, done that. Yes. But I want to bring up a point here that you can now buy Bitcoin for half price or buy one, get one free. However you want to think about it from where it was at. If you are thinking that it's just going to run back up to that $126,000 range, that is a 100% move. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't think about that in that capacity. That a 50% retracement requires a 100% move to get back up there. If something's at $100 and it drops to $50, it's down 50%. To go from 50 to 100, it has to double. That's 100%. That's a 1x, 100% move to the upside. And so keep that in mind when you look at some of these alts. I still think we have lower. I still think we have lower to go. And yes, buying some of that at the lower level will pull that down much, much quicker. So just in, FedEx filed a lawsuit seeking full refund over Trump tariffs. The suit appears to be the first by a major company seeking refunds from the $175 billion in duties paid after the Supreme Court ruled that Trump's tariffs were unlawful. So I think we see more of these in the coming in the near future. And I'm curious to see how, see how these companies are going to play this. Are they going to? Is the government going to push back super hard on this? Are the companies going to appeal and go to higher courts and get this all the way back up to the top? It's going to be interesting in how they're going to pay this money and what's it going to cost us, the American taxpayer, because we're the ones that are going to pay for this. This story here, this is crazy. So this story is actually insane, guys. This is a little understanding of what AI is opening the doors on for abuse. Dude dropped $2,000 on a DJI robot vacuum like a lunatic. Refuses to use the normal app like a peasant. Keep in mind, DJI is a Chinese company. You cannot get DJI drones imported anymore because they're a Chinese company. They just passed a whole law this year. I'm an FAA licensed drone operator, and DJI is one of the ones that got really hit hard with that new policy. This guy got a DJI robot vacuum now, and he refuses to use the normal app like a peasant. So Sammy Asdufel fires up Claude to crack the API so he can drive it with an Xbox controller. Claude delivers the goods, pulls an authorization token from their servers, connects successfully, except the system thinks that he controls 7,000 vacuums. Checks again. Yep, 7,000. DJI built authentication with zero device ownership verification. Any valid token works for any unit on the planet. Sammy now has eyes inside the homes across 24 countries. Live vacuum camera feeds everywhere. Full floor plans from the mapping the data. And some guy in Germany eating cereal at 3 a.m. unaware that his Roomba is snitching on him. All he wanted to do was steer his vacuum with a joystick, does the right thing and reports it. DJI fixes it in 2 days. Back to normal life with his stupidly expensive floor cleaner. Companies stay undefeated at shipping garbage security. And so this is some of the issues out there with getting stuff from China, first of all, because we know China loves to look at all of this data from whatever they can get their hands on. But also this guy, did something simple that he thought was just going to allow him to drive his Roomba around and exposed a massive security fault in the DJI system. Be very careful out there, guys. This is what AI is going to do. It's going to make people like Sammy a mastermind thief in the future. So I just had to share the story with you. It was nuts when I read it. Paper Bitcoin. Yeah, we talked about paper Bitcoin. We'll leave that there. Bitcoin, just from Titan of Crypto, heading back to the $60,000 wick. If it loses that level, he thinks $49,000 becomes the next magnet. And what he's talking about is the wick here, and he's talking about the wick over there. We'll go take a look at this because it's my zero line on my chart. Let's do that. There we go. Let's take a look at this weekly. So he's talking about the $60,000 wick right here from where we had the pull down. And I do think that that's in line, and that is going to be right in line with our 200-week simple moving average. But he thinks that if we lose this, we're looking at 49K, this wick right here, which would put us down to the quantum reactor, honestly. $49,000 he thinks is the next magnet for price action if we don't hold 60,000. So 60,000, line in the sand, according to the Titan of Crypto. Let's jump back into the news. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, all the narratives that we've been arguing and fighting over here, I still have to plug in my vacuum. Good job, little fish. You're good. Looking at this, this is hideous price action is the most effective cleanser of dogma. And they're talking about all of the narratives we've heard over the past year that we here at the Academy have been arguing. BC Port Court, myself, OC Guy, a lot of us have been like, look, guys, yes, tracking. Looks like it matches up. For example, monetary M2 money supply. Does not mean that it has to do it. People are so hung up on what has happened 3 times being 100% accuracy for the future, and that is not the case. That is not a pattern, and this is what we've banged the drum on here from the beginning. Bitcoin is digital gold. Nope, that's been proven wrong. Strategic Bitcoin reserve. Nope, haven't gotten anything on that. Matter of fact, I'm curious to see if Trump says it tonight. I got some stuff on that in the narrative notes here for tonight's State of the Union. First crypto president. Anyone tired of winning yet? Just let me know in the chat. Psycho's infinite money glitch did not work. Passive flows will pump our bags. Did not happen. Bull market hasn't yet started. It did. It came and it went. We are now in the bear market. Bitcoin versus global M2 with the random offset. Nothing. Bitcoin versus gold. Nothing. Liquidity is about to moon. Has not happened. QE is back. I told you guys when this all started. QE does not equate to liquidity. That was straight out the gate as soon as it happened. I said, 2, QE will not start just because quantitative tightening is done. You can stop quantitative tightening without going straight into QE, and QE takes time. Guys, all of these have been proven wrong when it comes to Bitcoin's price action. Break them all, I say, according to TXMC. You guys remember this video? I'm still on the ballpark of this. Here we go. My video that I made a while ago. Come on over. Come on over to Army Piper's line, $40,000 Bitcoin. Let the haters hate. Still stand on that. And I think that is a good number to shoot at. 42K is what I actually think. So, oldest Bitcoin well dumped $1.24 billion in Bitcoin 23 hours ago. He survived every cycle since 2009. But he sells here. Ask yourself why. I think that's a really good question. Why someone would sell at this point. Is it just simple profit taking, or does he think that this is a much deeper bear market than we've ever had? So Bitcoin miners are going nuts today. Ball and Wallen said, yeah, I saw that. Iron and everything was just cranking it out. We'll look at those in a bit here. Yeah, Hut's up 7.57%. Iron's up 7%. Marathon's up only 1. Riot's up 5.37. Yeah, a lot of Cypher's up 9.59. Miners are doing good. Wolf up 8.8. So a lot of movement on the miner side today, according to Eric Wallen, and he is correct. What else we got here? Anything? I think that's it. Let's move into the markets. Sir, you can stop with all that noise. Thank you. There we go. Stock market, how are we looking right now? Let's refresh it, make sure we got the latest data. Dow Jones currently up about 0.75% right now. S&P's up about 0.5%, and the NASDAQ up 0.8%. All moving to the upside. Russell TK up under just 1% at 0.9%, and the volatility index slowing down 5%, but still sitting above that 17, which means it can rear its ugly head very, very quickly. How we're looking on the bonds market, we do have some sell-off going on the 10-year yield, sitting at 4.042. Gold is down slightly, down 1.25%, but silver getting a good rally to the upside of 1.26%, 1.25% to the upside. Gold at 5,160. Silver is at 87. $87.66. Do you not know the Dow is at 50K, sir? Oh, I do. It's right there. 49,175. Am I missing something? I don't know if I'm missing something. I can see it right here. It's not at 50K right now. It's at 49. But yeah, it's there. You're probably talking to somebody else, and I'm just over here running my mouth. Let's look at the crypto bubble, see how everything's looking over here. Let's give it a refresh. DDT is going to reply back to that, and I'll see what the hell he was talking about. What are you talking about? What's in the box? Bitcoin right now down on the daily 3%, making a 1.3% return on the daily, on the hourly versus that day. Ethereum is down 3.2%, XRP down 1.7, BNB down 3.5 still. Solana is down 3.2, Dogecoin down 3.8. Other big movers: Bitcoin Cash, ouch, moving one spot down from number 10 to number 11 on the total market cap. It is down 11.3%. Canton Network making a little return rally to the upside, moving up one spot to number 14, up 1.2% on the daily. And Monero is up 2.6. Chainlink still seeing downside moves, sitting at $8.19, down 2.9%. Oh, got it. I got it. Yeah, Pam Bondi said that in front of Congress. Okay, I missed that meme. I'm sorry, DDT. All right, Boomer. Chainlink down 2.9%. Again, sitting at $8.20. Stellar Lumens is down, and Rain rounding out the top 20, down 1.3%. So, despite the hourly return to the upside, guys, we have to remember, sitting on the daily, still quite a sea of red out there. I think, again, just trying to trap all of the traders. That's what we're seeing. So, longs getting trapped is what we may see there. ADP employment change this morning. We had a revision from the previous. This was at 10.25. It came up to 11.5. Now the weekly private sector employment number coming in at 12.75. Seeing a little bit of job strength there on the labor market. Meaning, hey, may not have to cut those rates, but we'll see what the actual other job numbers look like later on in the month, next month, I should say. What else do we get here? Tonight, 8 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, guys, we're going to get the President Trump State of the Union speech, and we're going to talk about that right now. Let's go ahead and jump over to here, and I'm going to bring this up on the screen for you guys. We'll talk about what was said here in ChatGPT. Good old Pam doing a deep dive for me here. Tonight's speech sets up a pretty clear macro plus political plus crypto headline risk for Bitcoin. Trump is expected to focus heavily on the economy and the cost of living messaging with a theme around strength and prosperity. We all know there is no strength in the economy right now. He's going to say things are going down, prices are lower, blah, 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 blah. And we all know that that's bullshit. I'm getting ready to go to Costco here after the show, and I know I'm going to walk out of there spending another $400 because I'm getting my normal stuff, and it's always $400. It is not cheap, but we're going to hear that it is. Reuters and AP both report that the White House expects an economy-heavy message aimed at calming voters ahead of the 2026 midterms. I don't know that many people are going to believe anything that he says at all. And I think that the midterms are shot. So that's just one humble man's opinion. What matters for Bitcoin in this speech? Things that we need to listen for. If he talks about strategic Bitcoin reserve, tone and mechanics are going to matter on that. Trump already signed an executive order establishing a reserve back in 2025, but we haven't really seen anything happen with that, and people are very disappointed by it. Reuters reported the initial design leaned on already seized government-held crypto. That's not what we want to know. When are you buying crypto? The market sold off when there was no immediate active buying plan. We're also want to hear about the Clarity Act, because this is a big one that the crypto space is waiting on. Are the banks going to stop exchanges from giving yield earnings on stable coins? That's the question we want to know. If he says anything on that, it's still central to crypto policy, but remains politically difficult in the Senate and the White House meeting, failing to break the impasse. Earlier this month, Treasury Secretary Bessent recently said passing it this spring would provide great comfort to the market and warned the coalition would weaken after the midterms. So, again, meaning that they would not have the votes after midterms, because like I said, I think that's already shot. So Clarity Act, if he says anything on that that's positive for crypto and crypto exchanges, could see a really good move on crypto off of that. The broader macro tone, if the speech leans into tariffs, escalation, defiant after the court setback, markets may read this as inflationary plus uncertainty enhancing, which is usually rough for risk assets in the short run. AP says he is expected to defend tariffs and navigate around the Supreme Court ruling while also trying to sell economic strength. I think this narrative here is going to give this to the market to Wall Street, inflationary plus uncertainty enhancing. I think that's going to be what Wall Street adopts from him saying stuff like I'm defending the tariffs and I'm going to get around Supreme Court rulings, and that the economy is strong. I think we do get a sell off after from what he says tonight. That's just. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking is going to happen according to what we're hearing. He's most likely going to say and what his stance will be. My take on what we may hear tonight, the base case, the most likely mix. I expect a midterm focused economy is stronger than you think speech. Okay. We're all dumb and we don't know what our bills cost, but you go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. President. Affordability language. Jobs, manufacturing, bragging. That's all bullshit too. If this is his stance, that's bullshit. Immigration plus law and order hits. I think this is going to have a mixed receipt of the people that are watching. Tariffs framed as patriotic leverage. Again, people have not enjoyed the impact of tariffs at all. Don't let Democrats take the House type of pill. Well, you gave the House at this point, so congratulations. That framework is more about retail voter psychology than detailed policy mechanics. Associated Press specifically frames tonight as a bid to calm economic concerns and boost GOP midterm positioning. On crypto, I'd expect at most a short symbolic mention unless the White House wants a headline. So they're expecting, Pam is expecting that we won't get anything beyond a nod, a head nod, and a point at crypto out of tonight's show, out of tonight's union. The version that dumps Bitcoin. This is the speech path that likely pressures Bitcoin during and after the address. He talks tough on tariffs and global economic confrontation. This is going to happen. I think this absolutely occurs. If he emphasizes more tariff escalation, countries playing games will pay broad import duties as a core economic strategy. Markets may interpret higher inflation risk, slower growth risk, more policy uncertainty, stronger risk off tone, and that dumps Bitcoin hard. That combo can hit crypto along with equities, especially if traders already feel fragile, and I think that they do because there's a massive amount of uncertainty in the current market conditions. He does not mention Clarity Act, or he mentions it vaguely. If there's no mention or just a generic, we love innovation talk without legislative specifics, crypto may read it as a missed catalyst, especially because the market already knows the clarity is stalled and contested in the Senate process. Thank you, banks. He mentions the strategic Bitcoin reserve, but only as a symbolic win. This is a key nuance. If he reiterates the reserve without active purchase language, meaning we're going to add to this and buy some crypto, or repeats budget neutral strategies without timeline agency action, yes, we have a thing to do this, but we don't know when. That type of scenario. Or he focuses on non-Bitcoin token politics instead of Bitcoin specifically. That could be a sell the news, underwhelming reaction, similar to the prior Reuters reported dynamic where reserve details disappointed traders expecting a direct buy. If he shifts towards a strong dollar, anti-speculation, market discipline rhetoric, even if pro-crypto overall, a tone of America First production, real economy over financial games, we don't need bubbles, this would also dump Bitcoin. And what dump versions sound like. America is booming because we're taking on foreign cheaters. Tariffs are staying. We already established the reserve. No clarity timeline or no implementation detail on government Bitcoin accumulation. All those things will be setups for dumping Bitcoin. Now, the version that pumps Bitcoin. Let's talk about that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like, guys.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
If you're getting anything out of this, pump those numbers up. Appreciate it. Version that pumps Bitcoin. This is the speech path that likely boosts Bitcoin and crypto broadly. He explicitly frames crypto as part of the U.S. economy's competitiveness. If he ties crypto to innovation, dollar system modernization through stables, whatever, capital formation, jobs, AI data center, energy build out, America will lead digital assets. That could signal to the people that the pro-crypto regime in office is still supportive of crypto, and we could see a pump off of that. He names the Clarity Act and pushes pushes for urgency before the midterms. This would say, look, they're actually moving the ball forward towards the goal line. That could pump the markets. If he says things like pass the Clarity Act this spring, get it to my desk. We need market structure certainty now. We can't let this die in Senate politics. That would directly target the Clarity Act and give that sense of relief to cause risk on for crypto, and people would start buying. If he upgrades the strategic Bitcoin reserve rhetoric from symbolism to a process, not just, yeah, we're going to hold what we have and we're not selling anymore, but we are going to start building onto and adding to the Bitcoin strategic reserve, those would be reasons for the markets to get bullish. So, and if he combines pro crypto with pro growth macro tone, that could also help if he avoids new tariff shock language and instead emphasizes lower cost growth, business confidence, deregulation, so on and so forth. Those would be things that would pump the market. And so, my practical read for traders and listeners tonight, if you're framing this for a Bitcoin audience, pump setup, explicit clarity, push and concrete reserve process language, and softer or no new tariff escalation. I think this is very unlikely. I think it's more likely that we get tariff saber rattling, no clarity, talk, symbolic reserve victory lap only, and that's going to send the markets lower. And so I'd like to know what you guys think on this. Piper didn't recognize my joke about Trump needing to put his name on everything. The 50K joke is probably lower hanging fruit. I didn't see that, Wick. I'm sorry, but I would understand that because that's just Trump. Have you seen his buildings? Just saying. What do you guys think? Is this what we're going to have tonight? Are we looking at a scenario here where Trump does all the wrong things for crypto and we get more downside tonight? I think we do. If you guys let me know your thoughts in the chat. I'll read them off here in a bit and see what you guys think. What else do we have here today? We're going to go look at some higher time frame stuff still on the Bitcoin chart. But I want to make sure that I don't have anything that I missed here on the news today because we went straight into that session. Jamie Dimon. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's one of them. So Jamie Dimon, good old bank guy. Jamie Dimon says, watch out as lofty asset prices add to economic risk. My anxiety is high. Bro, my anxiety is high too. I'm with you. Even as economists tout Trump administration tax and deregulatory policy as boosting economic growth this year, JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon said his own tendencies were to consider what could go wrong. Let's go see what he says here. Even as economists are touting, my own view is people are getting a little comfortable that this is real, these high asset prices, high volumes, and that we won't have any problems mindset. He thinks that is something that's going to hurt everyone. Inevitably, Dimon said, the economic cycle will turn, leading to a wave of borrower defaults that would broadly affect lenders and often impacting industries few people expect. There will be a cycle one day. I don't know what confluence of events will cause that cycle. My anxiety is high over it. I'm not saying that by the fact that the asset prices are high only. In fact, I think that adds to the risk. While fears over how artificial intelligence models from Anthropic and OpenAI could disrupt a myriad of industries, especially software firms, the broader S&P isn't far off from its all-time record levels. So, he thinks that something is going to happen that's just going to cause this massive shift, and he's very anxious about it because everything is stacked very haphazardly, and one little tumble of a block, we're playing Jenga here. We're playing economic Jenga and market Jenga here. So that's what he's pretty much saying there. Let's go check my Bitcoin short trade. I'm just curious. Still up $100. I didn't close it, even though I saw us getting into that little trap. I'm not going to fall for it. You won't catch me, sir. You're not going to catch me slipping. What was some of the other things that I was looking at in here today? Oh, yeah, I was going to talk about this. So, guys, I am going to be watching this Friday. This will happen Friday evening. I'm going to drop an update on X and in our Discord. So if you're in the Discord, be watching for it there. I'll tag everyone. If you are not following me on X, make sure you do so. Link down below in the description. But I will drop what happens with the MVP oscillator on Friday night. And if we get this bright green candle, could indicate that we are coming into cycle lows or cycle range bottom. The reason that I say this is, just take a look here. Why I'm not saying it's the bottom. The white line is the average price of all of the window of buying when we had the bright green candles. But you can see we still had a pretty substantial drop here. Just taking a look at what that level is from the first candle that fired here. Okay, I'm just going to run that down and see. That was still a 34% drop. So doesn't mean the bottom's in, but we are in our bottoming range at that point. And so I will be watching for that on Friday. Back here, this cycle had a pretty decent one. This one here, actually, by the time it fired, we had a small move to the bottom. Let's see here. Small move to the bottom of 16%. So still can have downside if we do fire that off, but it's going to make me believe that we might have a shortened bear cycle. And, we're not too far off from that 42K that I think we hit anyway. So, yeah, awesome. What do you guys got, man? Let's go check out the chat. Let's do a little Q&A if you guys got anything. JR dropping in the magnets in here because Trade Intuition is in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. I'm going to go a little bit higher here, and we'll get to the most recent chat here. OC guy dropping holy balls. I'm buying IGV2 Ball and Wall said. That is one of the mining companies. SaaS stock. Market cycles, 4 key phases: accumulation, markup, distribution, and markdown. It's called the Wyckoff method. Yes, OC talks about it all the time. That's insane. Talking about that article. Yes, it was insane. For sure. Still have to plug in my vacuum. Still using my 20-year-old low-key tech Vorwerk vacuum. Take that, hackers. Not hacking that, man. In wartime, it would go up like gold. I don't know what you're referring to there, Curtis Hill. Probably something that I read earlier, but my bad. Bitcoin miners going nuts today. Yep, we already talked about that. Hopefully I get a call from this mining company for some more dry powder. You guys haven't been following. Buck just went live last night on his miners, by the way, guys. Massive power turn on. Started all of his miners running hard. So shout out to Buck. If you guys don't know, he did that. What else? And then the Supreme Court will deem the Clarity Bill illegal. Very possible, man. Who knows? Jesus. We dump every time he speaks. Yes, we do. It's not good. That's why I'm so warning tonight, guys. I think everyone needs to be aware of that. I have spot orders set up in case we go down. Mike Place said, what are your levels on that, Mike? I'd like to know. What are your levels on the spot buys? Your thoughts on Netflix, AMD, and CRM. I don't like Netflix. If they pump, sure, there's other things that I can buy. I just don't like Netflix. I think that they've had too much of a woke movement. And a lot of people are just tired of their content. I don't need to have whatever social justice movement is going on in every single TV show if it doesn't feel natural. So, if I got a trans or a gay person in a show, whatever, I don't care. But if it doesn't feel like it needed to be there or that it was natural to be there and it feels forced, I'm not going to watch it. That's garbage TV. And so Netflix is famous for that. And I don't like Netflix. But that's my bias. Is it down a lot? Sure. Could it go down more? Absolutely. Could it be a completely failed company? 100%. So why buy it just because there's other companies that I think are better? AMD, it's your software, it's your chip play, right? AMD is going to be, we're looking at shortages on GPUs out there. We're looking at a lot of software or hardware shortages for chips and stuff. So AMD is a good play, but I think if you have Nvidia and all these other companies start to crash, the AMD move, isn't that one of the ones that Meta just had their thing with? Didn't Meta just do a thing with them? I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's why you're seeing movement on it. It's pumped because of that. You missed that move. That's why exposure is important. Mhm. Everyone's commenting on my thumbnail today on X. I think it was on here. Let me take a look here. AMD search. latest. I'm sure it was in here. I think it was AMD that partnered with Meta. Let me know if I'm right or not. I don't give a buck. Big day for AMD. Yes, the company just announced a huge win with Meta. So, yeah, I think that move's already played. I don't think that it changes anything for the company itself. It's more of just the circle jerk of the AI and the companies just, hey, give me some money and I will move it around and we'll make it look like we're doing all these big deals. So, not overly concerned about AMD. And CRM. Let's go check out CRM. Yeah, if you're interested in these because they're moving today, you've missed the move. That's just how that goes. This none of this is going to be a long term like game changer for these companies. So, um, nothing's changed about their narrative. They just got money from a circle jerk of the AI world. So, CRM, Salesforce. Don't even have this on my charts. That's how much I care about it. So CRM, big news on them today. They have earnings coming up here in a couple of days. I wouldn't do anything with them until after their earnings call. Their earnings are coming in here Wednesday. So tomorrow's their earnings. Any news come out on them recently on Salesforce? Let's check here. Let's see. Salesforce will announce earnings on Wednesday. And any news? I'm not seeing any news on them. Oh, here we go. Salesforce price target cut to $300 per share from $400. So no, they're actually getting down. They're actually getting degraded. They're getting a degrade on their price expectations. So I don't know that I would. I would wait for a break of structure. Get a break of structure here on it. Okay. If we get a break of structure here and then it retests this previous level here and you start to get something out of that, maybe dollar cost average into it. At the end of the day, anything you're interested in buying, unless you're just trading it, you can always dollar cost average in slowly. Like but I want to see strength first before I touch any of these. And you're talking about some things that have been very weak for quite a while. Salesforce very weak, AMD been very weak. So I wouldn't worry too much about it being in a headline somewhere. Doesn't really change much for me. So, all right, guys, that's what I got today. I'm going to head out of here. I got to run to Costco and spend some money on cheap groceries because the economy's getting better. But yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow morning, 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, guys. Appreciate everyone joining me here. And we're going to redirect, I think, over to Crypto Blood right after this. So when you get over there, drop your graduation caps, guys. I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Until then, trade safe and later.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual, signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done. You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage. We'll see you at the next one.
Don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out, 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 out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one.
No blood show today. We're heading to Dano Crypto, y'all. Dano Crypto. Later. Ow.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at that fucking smile on my face.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?